Hello, everyone. Welcome to Political Pulse. It's been another busy day across the state and a busy week really across the state. We are talking about Medicaid expansion. Thanks for being with us for Political Pulse. I've got Thomas Kincheloe and Sowder with me here again. Hi, guys. Thanks for being flexible. Good to see you.
Absolutely. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Randy.
So, Medicaid expansion, it's the big story. Last week was a huge story. It's happening in this week. People are talking about it across the state. Emma Kate, I want to start with you. Can you fill us more in, about this compromise and what's going on?
Absolutely. So, as you know, and as I'm sure most of our viewers know, the Senate and the House reached a deal on Medicaid expansion early last week. And we knew an amendment would be coming to the bill, but we've got the details now and we're excited to go over them. We've got the same core things that were in the original House bill. So the HAS program, which would enhance hospital Medicaid reimbursements, and just overall Medicaid expansion, which would expand coverage to multiple groups of North Carolinians. But the big changes we're seeing are really in the certificate of need reform area. That was kind of the biggest addition that was made in the amendment. So it would remove the certificate of need requirement for chemical dependency treatment beds and also for psychiatric beds. And it also raises the replacement equipment for acquiring a certificate of need from $2 million to $3 million. And adds a provision to update this yearly. So these numbers have been stagnant for a long while, and we're excited to see that change. It also raises the threshold for diagnostic centers requiring a certificate of need from 1.5 million to 3 million. And again, adds that provision for inflation. And it exempts institutional health services for children's home care agencies and new chemical or substance abuse facilities. One of the biggest changes that we also saw was the addition of something called urban counties. So for specific things, which are ambulatory surgery centers or ASCs and MRI machine purchasing, there are exemptions for counties with over 125,000 people living in them. So I'm going to do a quick screen share so we can kind of view those counties here. As you can see, this is a map of those urban counties. So for ambulatory surgery centers, they would be exempt from CO1 review if an urban county falls within these counties that are navy on the screen here. And it also requires those counties contribute 4% charity care, which would be Medicare and Medicaid and Medicaid self-pay. And the same for MRI machine purchasing, if not a diagnostic center. So those are the changes that we're seeing. And yeah, we've got some new stuff going on.
That's a really big deal. That's almost a quarter of all the counties in the state. Thank you very much, Emma Kate, for sharing that with us. I do want to keep this about Medicaid. Today, we're filming this on a Thursday. It's Thursday. And Thomas, the Senate took up the bill today. I know it's an important milestone. Tell us what happened today and what comes next.
So, Randy, the Senate really took up the bill on Tuesday, and it's gone through the committee process. It went through the Senate Health Committee, and then it went through the Senate Finance Committee yesterday. Today, the Senate Rules Committee heard the bill. There were no amendments or anything in any of the committees. And next, it will go to the House floor on Tuesday. Will be voted on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then if it passes the Senate, it will go to the House, where hopefully they can just concur. And then the legislation will have passed the legislature.
And after that, what happens? Goes to the governor, he signs it, and that's the next big step, right?
I would imagine the governor will sign it fairly quickly. The HASP provision in the bill can go into effect immediately. The Medicaid expansion provisions are contingent upon the passage of the budget.
And I know you don't have a crystal ball about this, but could this be as early as the end of next week?
It could pass the legislature at the end of next week, and then I would imagine the governor would sign it probably early the next week. But like I said, the Medicaid expansion itself is contingent on the passage of the budget.
All right. Well, thank you both very much. Emma Kate, real quick, back to you. You always tell us how to do this. If people want more about the advocacy team and what's going on, how can they find us?
Every Monday, we have a weekly legislative review, which will be in our morning rounds. And you can also find that on our website. We're covering everything in Raleigh and at the federal level in morning rounds and on all of our social media pages.
All right, perfect. Our website, ncmedsoc.org. Thank you both for talking with me today, and thank you to all of you for joining us. Maybe next week we'll be back in person.
Hope so.
Hopefully.
Thanks, Randy.
Y'all have a good afternoon. Take care.
You too.
You too.